In the year 3047, at the outer rim of the Coalition, a fleet of 4,000 warships appeared out of the void.
Contact. 4,000 signatures. Unknown design. They're not ours. Computer. Cross-reference that sigil. It's impossible. It's 800 years old.
Border Patrol. This is Empress Elizabeth. We are returning home. You will stand down.
Open a channel to Earth Priority 1. Now, Coalition Command. We have a crisis. A human fleet claiming to be a lost colony has entered our space.
The Perseverance? That's a myth. A tragedy from 8 centuries ago.
The Perseverance, lost in 2247, remembered only in textbooks.
To the government of Earth, we made it. We built a civilization. We never forgot. You forgot us.
Get me the Security Council and find someone who knows what we did to those people.
Earth's formal apology crossed the void, routed through the Border Patrol.
Empress Elizabeth, I relay a message from Earth. They express regret for the loss of the Perseverance and offer formal apology.
Regret, apology, meaningless after 800 years.
The Coalition convened an emergency. Alien voices demanded Earth contain the situation. On Earth's streets, the leaked footage of the fleet played on every public screen, and citizens looked up with a mixture of fear and wonder. Inside the presidential office, Elena Torres watched the same images, her heart heavy with a guilt she hadn't expected to feel.
We abandoned them. We held memorials and moved on. And now they're back with an empire. Get me the original Perseverance mission files. Diaries, crew logs, anything personal. We need an envoy, not a politician. Someone who can speak from the heart.
The idea crystallized, a single messenger, carrying a single message, and a hope that forgiveness could span centuries.
Marcus, I need someone who understands what we lost. Someone who knows the weight of abandonment.
I remember the stories my grandmother told. She knew families on that ship.
Then you know this mission must be personal. We need a voice from the heart.
He touched a name on the memorial wall, then turned to accept the burden.
Take this message. Tell her Earth was wrong, that we welcome them home.
I will carry this message to her, and I will speak the truth.
The next morning, Chen boarded the diplomatic shuttle that would take him to the heart of the fleet. The shuttle touched down in a cavernous hangar, dwarfed by the black and silver warships surrounding it. Flanked by armored guards, he walked the sterile corridors, each step echoing the weight of the mission. At the end of the corridor, the throne room doors stood shut. Beyond them, an empress who remembered being forgotten. The doors slid open onto a cavern of black stone and cold light. On a simple obsidian throne sat the empress.
Marcus Chen, envoy of Earth. Did they send you to apologize again?
I bring more than words, Your Majesty. I carry memories.
Memories? Earth had 8 centuries to remember. They chose not to.
She raised a hand, and a hologram bloomed. The reclaimed sovereignty, 73 worlds, born from the Perseverance's desperate landing.
We built this from nothing. No help, no rescue, just survival.
My grandmother knew families on that ship. She never forgot.
Elizabeth produced a small silver locket, the Perseverance's old emblem etched into its surface.
This locket was my ancestors. She wrote in her diary, "They will forget us. We must never forget that."
The silence between them was heavy with unhealed wounds, and Chen knew the message in his pocket might not be enough.
May I see that locket? My grandmother once described one just like it to me. She told me of a young woman whose husband gave her a locket before he left on the Perseverance. Each year, on the day the ship was declared lost, she placed a single black flower at the memorial. That tradition never died, and neither did our regret. I carry this message from Earth's president.
Elizabeth unfolded the paper. The handwriting was simple, deliberate. "Welcome home. We were wrong. President Elena Torres." She read it twice. Her fingers tightened, then relaxed. She sat motionless for a long time. Chen, was escorted to a Spartan waiting room, the door sealed shut behind him. He stared at the distant suns, each one a world that might have been lost to war or gained through peace. Minutes stretched into an hour. The Empress had not yet decided. The door slid open, and Empress Elizabeth entered, her expression unreadable. Chen rose to his feet.
My ancestors made a vow, Ambassador. They would return one day, as conquerors or as allies.
The hologram split into two futures. One showed a charred Earth, the other a seamless union of fleets.
We prepared for both outcomes for 8 centuries. The choice was always yours.
You would have destroyed us if we hadn't sent that message.
Not you personally, Ambassador, but your Earth. We would have avenged our abandonment, but your sincerity created a third path. Earth must invite the reclaimed sovereignty as an equal, not as a prodigal child.
What does that mean exactly? What are your terms?
Integration. Our fleets combine, our colonies become yours, but we retain our identity and command. We are not a lost colony, we are a sister empire.
Silence stretched. The fate of two civilizations, one that forgot, one that never could, now hinged on Earth's reply to this offer. Chen returned to Earth and went straight to the presidential office, his face carrying the weight of what he had learned.
She wants integration as equals. Not a reunion, no apology can change the past, but a genuine invitation can shape the future.
Then we give her what she should have had all along. A welcome home, with open arms.
Within hours, President Torres stood before the United Earth Assembly, the weight of 8 centuries in her voice.
We wronged them. Now we must earn their trust. I move to formally invite the reclaimed sovereignty into the human sphere on equal terms.
The chamber erupted in shouts. Some delegates rose in protest, others in fervent agreement.
This could end my career, but the price of inaction is worse, a second abandonment forever.
The vote passed narrowly. A simple message was transmitted across the void, with no conditions and no demands. Welcome home, as sisters and brothers. Aboard the flagship, Empress Elizabeth received the transmission. She read it without outward reaction. The Empress offered no immediate reply. But in the silence, something had shifted, a wound, perhaps, beginning to close.
Earth's invitation is accepted. All ships move into standard integration orbit with Earth's defensive grid.
The reclaimed sovereignty's fleet began to shift, its 4,000 warships aligning with Earth's orbital defenses. Inside the Coalition Council, alien ambassadors watched in alarm and moved to issue an emergency objection.
The Coalition is demanding our patrol enforce a blockade, but our sensors show the human ships are not retreating.
A joint command center was established. Human and sovereignty officers began coordinating their first combined maneuvers.
They see this as a power grab. We must show them it is a reunion.
A coalition battle group moved to intercept the new human formation. For a tense hour, 4,000 black and silver ships and Earth's own fleet stood ready.
The Coalition has stood down, for now, but they are not happy.
I will not be intimidated. The reclaimed sovereignty is not a threat. They are our kin.
We have waited 800 years. They will learn or they will not, but we are done waiting.
Empress Elizabeth's personal shuttle descended through the atmosphere, landing at the abandoned Houston spaceport at dusk. She stepped onto the cracked tarmac, the rusted gantry of the original Perseverance launch pad looming before her. Her gloved hand traced a faded name carved into the metal. Lena. She stood before the memorial plaque, a small black flower hidden in her gloved palm.
They left this crumbling rock and forged an empire, and Earth built memorials they never visited.
Footsteps crunched on gravel. Marcus Chen approached, standing a respectful distance behind her.
I heard you carry a black flower. It's an old tradition among the families here, too, a symbol of remembrance.
I came to see if Earth remembered, but this place is as silent as my ancestors' ghosts.
She looked down at the black flower, her fingers tightening around the stem. The flower remained unplaced, Some closures cannot be rushed, not after 8 centuries. 1 week later, in a ceremony broadcast across 73 worlds, the Compact of Reclamation was signed.
We are no longer a lost colony. We are a sister empire. Today we claim our future together.
Earth once forgot. Today we remember, and we will never make that mistake again.
The fleets performed a joint flyby, 4,000 black and silver warships flanked by Earth's own armada. Alien news networks broadcast the display. A blue-skinned anchor stared at the chart. Human military strength had doubled overnight.
This changes everything. Humanity now has 2 empires, unified. The Council will have to recognize them.
The Coalition Council, faced with overwhelming force, convened an emergency vote. Reluctantly, they issued official recognition. Across Earth and the reclaimed sovereignty, celebrations erupted. Fireworks, cheers, and tears of relief. Late that night, in a quiet presidential study, Elizabeth and Elena shared a silent toast.
We have much work to do, but tonight, we remember those who began this journey.
Elizabeth reached into her pocket and withdrew a worn photograph, its edges soft with age.
This is the only image of the original Perseverance crew. They landed with nothing but hope. That couple, she was pregnant. Their child, born on the New World, was my ancestor.
We preserved their names, their last messages. I can show you the memorial archives.
The black flower I carry grew from those first seeds they planted, a symbol of endurance we never lost.
This stone came from the original launch pad. It belongs with you now.
Elizabeth closed her fingers around the stone, then rose and walked to the window, the city stretching below.
I still guard my heart, Elena. Trust takes longer than treaties.
Then we will earn it, one day at a time.
Outside, the first light of dawn touched the city. 2 women, 2 empires, now one. On the border patrol station, Officer Zalthar watched the historic broadcast. The combined fleets now numbered over 8,000 ships.
I was the first to see them. Now they've doubled Earth's might in a single day.
Across the galaxy, alien news anchors struggled to process the new reality. The human sphere had expanded to 73 new systems overnight. Some ambassadors murmured of a human takeover. Others saw an opportunity for trade and alliance with a newly stabilized power. The Coalition Council, though recognizing the Union, issued a cautious statement urging measured integration into galactic affairs.
They prepared 800 years for either conquest or welcome, and we were lucky they chose welcome.
In a symbolic gesture, the Coalition's senior human admiral and an alien counterpart exchanged a formal handshake aboard a neutral station.
The Empress's coldness hid a wound. I doubt it will heal quickly.
Analysts predicted a new era of human dominance, but some alien leaders pointed out the Empire's willingness to cooperate.
Perhaps this is the beginning of something new, or the end of peace as we know it. Only time will tell.
The first light of dawn broke over the abandoned launch pad. This time, she came alone. She walked the same path as before, the black flower cradled in her palm, its petals soft against her glove. At the Perseverance Memorial plaque, weathered in bronze, she stopped and read the names carved 8 centuries ago. Then, slowly, the Empress knelt on the cracked concrete, a gesture of surrender, not to Earth, but to time.
Forgive us. We survived.
She laid the black flower at the base of the plaque, its dark petals stark against the gray stone. Elizabeth rose, her eyes tracing the rusted gantry upward into the lightning sky. 8 centuries of waiting and remembering, now laid to rest on this hallowed ground. Without looking back, she turned and walked toward the rising sun, her shadow long on the pavement. The Empress of the reclaimed sovereignty had finally come home. 2 days after the compact was signed, President Torres faced an emergency session of the United Earth Assembly. A faction had raised a motion of no confidence, claiming the reclaimed sovereignty was a threat, not a partner.
You want to tear this union apart, before it even begins. The Empress came with 4,000 warships and chose peace. We will honor that choice.
The opposition leader, a man from the isolationist bloc, rose to challenge her. "You are giving away Earth's independence," he accused.
I am not giving anything away. I am welcoming family home. If this assembly disagrees, then put it to a vote.
She knew what she was doing. A vote of confidence would either affirm the treaty or dissolve her government, and possibly the compact itself.
Madam President, this is dangerous. If they vote no, the sovereignty might see it as a betrayal.
Then it is a risk worth taking. I will not hide behind protocols while our new allies watch our commitment waver.
The Assembly Speaker set the vote for the following day. Overnight, the media erupted, stoking fear and hope in equal measure.
They are not a threat, but my own people might be. If I lose this, everything Elizabeth trusted could shatter.
She pressed her communicator and sent a brief personal message to Empress Elizabeth. "Tomorrow we earn your trust forever, or we break it. Either way, the truth will be known." The assembly convened at dawn, the chamber packed with delegates and tense with expectation. The vote would define Earth's future.
I will not let fear undo what we have built. If this assembly needs reassurance, then I propose a public referendum on the integration within 1 year.
The offer swayed the undecided. The isolationist bloc scowled, but the moderate votes shifted. The speaker called for the vote. One by one, the lights on the massive display turned green or red. The motion of no confidence failed by a margin of just 3 votes. The compact would stand.
You won, but the referendum is a gamble. If the public turns against integration, everything could collapse.
It is a risk I chose freely. We will earn the people's trust, exactly as we did with the Empress.
She drafted a personal message to Elizabeth, explaining the referendum condition. Promise of democracy, not a retreat.
So democracy nearly killed our union, but you bought time. Use it wisely.
The compact had survived its first test, but the future of the dual empire now rested on a year-long countdown. The year leading to the referendum was a storm of propaganda, fear-mongering, and dazzling promises of prosperity.
A coalition patrol opened fire on a sovereignty freighter near the border. They claim targeting error, but the Empress demands reparations.
We will not tolerate attacks on our ships. If the coalition cannot guarantee safety, our fleet will handle border security.
If we postpone the referendum, the sovereignty will see it as a betrayal. We proceed as planned.
But the incident has fueled the isolationists. The vote is now even more uncertain.
Then I will remind them what is at stake. If we fail, we lose not only an empire, but a part of ourselves. A year ago, we welcomed home a people who never stopped being human. We will not abandon them now. Vote yes.
Referendum Day. Across Earth and the colonies, digital polling stations recorded the will of the people. When the final tallies appeared, the margin was razor-thin, 53.2% for integration, 46.8% against.
It is not a landslide, but it is enough. The Union endures. Now we must heal the wounds it exposed.
The isolationist bloc, defeated but not silenced, issued a new demand. The Empress must publicly accept Earth's apology and forgive the abandonment in a formal ceremony.
They want Elizabeth to stand before the galaxy and say she forgives Earth. It would heal a centuries-old wound.
She built an empire on the memory of abandonment. To publicly forgive might feel like betrayal of her own history.
They want me to perform forgiveness like a politician. 8 centuries of pain cannot be erased with a single speech.
Elizabeth, I am not asking you to erase the past. I am asking you to build a bridge for the future. Without this, the coalition will exploit our division.
She is right, but this will tear something inside me that has kept my people strong. I will do it. I will stand before Earth and say the words, but understand, it will not be a performance. It will be the truth, and it will cost me.
Thank you. I know the weight of this. We will stand with you.
The ceremony was set for the anniversary of the Perseverance's launch. Elizabeth prepared in silence, the black flower once more in her pocket.
Forgiving them does not mean forgetting. It means surviving long enough to choose peace over vengeance.
On the anniversary of the Perseverance's launch, the abandoned Houston spaceport transformed. A simple stage stood before the rusted gantry, and billions watched across the stars. Empress Elizabeth walked to the podium, the morning light catching the silver insignia on her collar. In her hand, she carried the worn locket.
I speak not as an empress today, but as a daughter of the Perseverance. We were forgotten, but we never forgot. Yet here we stand, two branches of humanity, reunited. I choose to let the bitterness of 8 centuries rest. I forgive Earth.
She opened the locket and held it up for the galaxy to see. Inside, a tiny pressed black flower, old as the original colony.
This is our past. Now, we build a future together.
As President of Earth, I accept this forgiveness with humility. Our mistake was great, but our hope is greater. In recognition of your journey, we name this site the Perseverance Memorial World Heritage, and we grant the reclaimed sovereignty perpetual rights to this ground.
The two leaders met in the center of the stage and clasped hands. The crowd's ovation rolled like thunder across the old launch pad. In that handshake, the breach of 8 centuries sealed. 2 empires, 1 people, finally at peace. As the crowd slowly dispersed, the broadcast ended with a single image, the locket and the black flower resting on the podium, a symbol of what had been lost and what had been reclaimed.
They did it. The wound of 8 centuries, healed in one morning. I never thought I would see the day.
In a private study away from the cameras, Elizabeth and Elena sat together, a bottle of Old Earth whiskey unopened between them.
You did what no one thought possible. You forgave the unforgivable. History will remember this day.
It was not a gift. It was a choice, and it already feels lighter than I ever imagined.
The Coalition Council, observing the ceremony, released a statement declaring the human sphere officially unified and stable, ending years of uncertainty. The integrated human territories now encompassed over 100 systems, a power unprecedented in galactic history.
We have built something new, Elena, but I will never stop being the empress of my people. That is the price of our history.
I understand. You will always be a sister, not a subject. That is our promise.
They raised their glasses in a silent toast, the first of many. Outside, the stars shone undivided. In the weeks following the ceremony, the reclaimed sovereignty's fleet merged formally with Earth's command. Joint patrols became routine. The first joint command briefing took place aboard the Sovereignty flagship. Human and sovereignty officers sat side by side, sharing data as equals. The Coalition Council, once hostile, now sent a formal delegation to welcome the new human entity and propose a permanent trade pact. Alien analysts revised their projections. The human sphere now rivaled the oldest coalition members in influence, yet showed no signs of aggression.
Border tensions have dropped 60%. The combined fleet deters skirmishes before they begin. It's working.
We once were forgotten. Now we are the shield of 2 empires. Time has given us purpose.
And purpose brings legacy. Our children's children will study this era.
They paused before a large window overlooking the launch pad. The old gantry, now protected, stood as a monument.
The Perseverance's journey is over. Our journey, together, has just begun.
The black flower had already been placed, but its meaning would bloom across centuries to come. The Perseverance Memorial soon drew visitors from across the galaxy. They came to place black flowers and remember how forgetting almost cost the stars. Marcus Chen, now retired, visited often. His hand would rest on the bronze plaque, tracing names that were once only whispers in his grandmother's stories.
I told you they would never forget, Your Majesty. And now, neither will we.
Strange how the most terrifying moment of my career became the beginning of an era of peace.
Elena, I walked the launch pad again this morning. The flowers are still there. So is the hope.
Hope is our new currency, and we're rich beyond measure.
The integrated human sphere stretched across the spiral arm, a testament to survival, forgiveness, and the unyielding will to return home. At the launch pad, under a canopy of stars, a single black flower rested beside the Perseverance emblem. It had faded, but it had not fallen. The rusted gantry stood silent, a sentinel, over all that had been lost and found. The galaxy had learned a new story, and in that story, the forgotten were remembered. Always. Seasons turned, the black flower faded, but new ones replaced it.
Every year on this day, Earth will honor Perseverance Day. Never again will we forget our own.
Thank you, Elena. This day will teach our children what we nearly lost.
On the first Perseverance Day, millions gathered at memorials across human space. The black flower became the emblem of reconciliation.
They are not lost. They are the foundation upon which we build tomorrow.
She paused, then turned to walk the long road away from the pad, the future stretching before her. The black flower remained rooted in cracked concrete, a testament that even in abandonment, life endures. The galaxy had changed forever, because one forgotten colony chose to come home, and the Empress who carried the memory of 800 years now carried only the hope of tomorrow. A single black flower, a single homecoming. The forgotten were never truly lost. They were simply waiting to be found.